Today's video is answering one of your questions, and that is, what is social anxiety? Now, if you guys have been following the Queen of Down syndrome, she has been posting on Instagram for a really long time now. We're new to YouTube, and she looks fantastic. She's engaged, she's charming, she has a great sense of vocabulary, she's fun. I mean, I can go on and on, not only because she's my sister, but genuinely, she is a great child, now an adult, and I am just so proud of her. But she does suffer from social anxiety. So in today's video, I'm going to kind of explain it. I'm going to explain how it affects her. I'm going to explain the steps that I am taking, and I'm also going to explain how you can help, whether you meet the Queen in person or whether you meet someone else. You should just know this is a real thing and you can make a difference. So, what is social anxiety? Now, it's basically having some form of anxiety in a social situation. Now, the Queen of Down syndrome, for the Queen of Down syndrome, this can mean a few things. Number one, it could mean to full shutdowns, where she completely loses her speech, she completely loses her train of thought, and she completely loses her ability to interact in a social setting. It could also be less ideal where she'll just sit there and wait for someone to come and engage with her. And if the right person comes with the right information, boom, she's back to being her normal self. Basically, if you know anyone with any sort of anxiety issues, social anxiety is the same thing, but it is triggered by a social interaction. Now, for the Queen of Down syndrome, she has it pretty bad. I know it's hard to believe. I like to share mostly the wonderful parts of her, but behind the camera there is some struggles, and that is social anxiety. Now, for her, this can lead to complete shutdowns where she'll actually sit on the floor and lose her ability to speak. And that's really hard to watch because you've seen us having conversations, and we're going to post more and more as, the days progress, the weeks progress, but to see where she's come from and then to sit on the floor and lose speech is really hard to watch. But at the same time, I have to understand, and it would be nice, we're welcoming you to understand as well, that this is not triggered by, hey, I don't want to be here. It's, whoa, this is way too overwhelming and I can't be here. Which leads me to, what am I doing to help the Queen of Down syndrome? Well, we're doing a lot of things, and I'm just going to share a few things. Number one, we're playing games, we're having social stories, we're acting out, we're role modeling, and we're creating situations that would potentially lead to shutdowns and meltdowns. And what I am hoping to do is to teach her brain that when this situation comes, you've got this, you're strong enough. And I'll tell you what, we've been doing this since she was about 5 years old, when we realized there was a problem, or I want to call it a problem, but something affecting her life, and we wanted to support her. And now we're talking about many years later, and while the social anxiety is still there, she has come a long way, and it's just about exposure. For me, it's showing her that I'm here, I'm going to help you, but at the same time, she's a grown-up. It's time to help yourself, and it's about teaching her that balance, and she's really not ready to do it on her own, but we're trying to wean off of it. That's number one. Another way I'm helping, believe it or not, is through the start of the Instagram channel. We started her Instagram channel. I've actually encouraged her to ask situations where she's come to me with like, hey, I have a problem, I can't help myself. And of course I could have answered it for her, but I'm like, wait, why don't you ask for help? Why don't you reach out to your followers? And while she's not ready to go to you guys for every single situation, you never know, maybe she'll come to you with more and more. And that to me is like such a happy moment, because she's addressing that she needs help. She's reaching out to you guys, and you know what, some of your advice is so different. Wow, I'm blown away, and it's really helped her. And you know what, if it's one or two pieces of information that she's ready to hear every week, every 2 weeks, once a month, that is a huge win, and it's helping her be more independent. And for the last question I'm going to answer is, how can you help? And that's actually a really tricky situation. You're at a mall, you see somebody, going through a social anxiety, a panic attack. How can you help? And you know what? There is no right answer. So remember how I mentioned that I role play with the Queen of Down syndrome? Well, I'm going to give you guys some possible tips of what I've seen worked with her. Number one, if it's a full-blown meltdown with crying and screaming or whatever, go over to the caregiver. Let them know, hey, is there anything I could do? I got you. Just let them know you're the first person there, not judging. Because could you imagine a caregiver with an 18-year-old? And of course, that's what we think. Everyone's judging. So just you there, just saying, I understand. I know someone with Down syndrome. I know somebody with special needs. You're okay. One kind word can make all the difference. Let's say they're not. Let's say they're just sitting there on the ground, and we've had that. Or it's just a funny one. When we go clothing shopping, talking to the clothing. That is a form for her of social anxiety. Well, then you can go over to the caregiver and say, hey, can I say hi to, so-and-so? And they may say yes, or they may say, no, she's not ready at the moment. But again, just showing that you're there and present. And if you see anyone who's just quiet and shy, maybe you go over and say, hey, my name is so-and-so. However you would start a conversation, just start that conversation. And this is the hardest part. I know I tell you that you guys can help, but you have to read their body language. If they're stiffening up, then back off. You did your job, and just knowing that you were there makes all the difference. To sum it up, social anxiety affects people in different ways. For the Queen of Down syndrome, it could be to full-blown loss of speech, loss of thinking, loss of being present. It could be talking to clothing in the store, or it could be just waiting for someone to engage. And if they're there with a caregiver and you see it's a big one, just letting the caregiver know that you're, hey, makes the world of a difference. And if that child or adult, if you would like to just say hi, or can I help you, or that's a pretty dress, just leaving a comment, situations depend, and just making it feel that this is normal. Social anxiety is normal, because at the end of the day, while it may seem not normal, while it may seem scary, to that individual, this is their normal. And the more we make them feel safe, hopefully with time, and by time, it's taken the Queen at least 13 years. So we don't know what the time frame is, but by showing them you're there and you've got the time for them, that makes all the difference in the world. Now, if you have a question on social anxiety, please leave a comment below. If you have a question on anything related to parenting, education, special needs, inclusion, leave a comment below, because this channel, I really want to tailor it to you guys, and I want to answer as many questions as you have. I've been doing this for more or less 18 years, probably a little bit longer, since before the Queen was born, but for sure 18 years, and I'm here for